Hello and welcome to another video tutorial in the series. This time we'll take a look at the integrated authoring environment within the NeXuS S1000D Cloud. In this tutorial we'll create a simple data module in the S1000D byte dataset to show just how easy to use our authoring tool is, even if you've never worked with S1000D or XML before. We'll also push the data module into a review to demonstrate the review mode of the authoring tool. The data module that we're going to create is a tyre removal procedure data module. For this data module, we'll need to add an item of support equipment, a caution, some steps and a graphic with respective internal and external references. Firstly, let's create a data module in the CSDB. Creating data modules is made simple by selecting the level of the SNS you want the new data module to sit and allowing NeXuS to populate much of the information for you. Once created, let's assign the new data module to ourselves and check it out. We'll also assign ourselves as the reviewer in this case, just to demonstrate workflow. Let's check out the data module and click Edit Data Module to open the data module in the integrated S1000D editor. As you can see, our new data module has been created and we're now presented with a formatted document view of the data module. The ID and status section is minimised by default, although it can be viewed if required. So let's start to populate the data module. Firstly, we need to add a required persons section. To do that, we can use the quick action buttons and insert the required section. Let's add the details. Next, we need to add an item of support equipment, so let's do that. We also need to change an attribute here, so let's click the attribute panel and make the change. We also need to assign the item an ID to enable us to reference it in the text. Again, this can be done using the attributes panel. Now, let's add a caution before we write the procedure. There are several ways to add warnings, cautions and notes, but because we want the caution to go in the safety section of the data module, we can click the Add Safety Condition button and choose Caution from the list. Next, we can write our caution directly into the caution box. Okay, next let's add some text for our first step and add a data module reference. To reference external data modules, we just need to click the link icon on the menu bar, and this opens a panel where we can select which type of reference we want. We want to reference another data module in this case. We can browse or search and select the data module we require. The list is live and generated directly from the CSDB. Once selected, click Add to insert the data module reference in the data module. The element and attributes are also populated for us. Let's add some more steps to the data module. New steps can be added several ways, but hitting Enter will give us a new step at the same level as the current one. We can also use the Elements bar at the bottom of the page to insert new elements. An Increase Indent and Reduce Indent button can be used to move the nesting of the step should we need to. We now want to reference our item of support equipment. To do that, we choose the link icon again, this time picking the Internal Reference tab. We can see the ID we assigned to the tyre lever and can insert the reference with a single click. Next, we need to add a graphic to the data module. To do that, we click the graphic icon in the menu bar. This presents us with a list of graphics held in the CSDB. We can pick our required graphic and click Insert to add the graphic. Add a title for the graphic and that's it. Now let's reference it from the text. The figure ID attribute has been automatically assigned a unique value, but let's change it to something more standardized. To do that, click the figure and in the Attributes panel, change the value in the ID box. Now, when we click the link button, our figure reference is available for us to use. Let's save and then publish our data module as a PDF. To do this, click the Save icon in the top left, after which we can click the Publish button and a PDF is built and downloaded to our machine. In addition to the editor, PDFs can also be generated and viewed directly in browser via the CSDB. Let's assume we're happy with our data module. Let's now push the data module into the review process and open the data module as a reviewer would. Firstly, let's check in the data module, then click Send for Review. As a reviewer, when we open the data module, it looks identical to the view seen by the author, but this time the data module isn't editable. The only thing we can now do in a reviewer mode is to add comments to the data module for the author to action. Let's add a comment and save the data module. We can now close the data module and choose Reject, adding a comment in the box that's presented. The author can now check out and make any required changes to the data module to satisfy the reviewer comments. In addition to the clean formatted document view you see, the editor does also have the ability to view the document with tag view on. This can occasionally be useful if you're unsure of the underlying structure of the data module, although for the most part it's not required. We can also view the raw XML if required, which some authors like to be able to access. So hopefully this video has given you a good introduction into the editor and demonstrates just how easy it is to produce S1000D content with much of the element building work being done for you behind the scenes. If you have any questions on this video, we'd love to hear from you. Please contact us at techdocs.co.uk and please follow our page on LinkedIn and YouTube for more videos. Thanks and speak soon.